Shadow Clan. Shadow, what if here to bring you part 3 to What If Female Deku was born? Now, I'm sorry about the whole 18 plus thing. I wasn't planning to do that. Last part, that was something that just spontaneously happened because I was tired. I was planning to do it like far later in the What If. Now, this What If starts a few days after the events of part 2. Now, we come to Melissa talking to her father. As David says, Melissa, are you sure you want to attend the support course in UA? As she responds, yes, father. I want to help. I can't English. I want to help people more than how I can help them being a CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company. As David says, okay, and pulls out some papers. As Melissa asks, Dad, what are all these papers for? As she takes the papers off David, as he says, these are papers for a house I bought off a well-known bank. As Melissa responds with, wait, are me, Izuki, and Bakugo going to live in this house? As David simply responds with, yes, now, the boat to the mainland will pick you up in a few days. And once you get to the main island of Japan, there will be a taxi waiting for you to take you three to the house. As Mercer says, wait, if we leave in a few days, we still have 10 months before UA actually starts. As David says, yes, now I'm sending you there 10 months early is because, well, you can spend those 10 months finding a safe route from your place to UA. Now, what am I going to do? What to do? So, guys, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do later in this part. So, as Melissa bows to her father saying, thank you, and walks away. As she gets to the door, as David says, wait, Melissa. As she turns around saying yes. If there's any renovations to the house you guys want to do, you'll have to pay for it yourself. As Melissa simply goes, I understand, father, it's to teach us responsibility. As David just says, correct dear. Well, it's mainly for Bakugo to learn responsibility, but it won't hurt for you and your girlfriend to learn a little more responsibility. As Mercer just says bye to her father and walks out. As she gets to her room and calls Izuki and Bakugo, telling them about they're going to Japan in a few days, and that her father bought a house for them off one of the well-known banks in Japan to live there. As they all start packing. Now we skip a few days. As they're on the boat and they're just chatting away. they're just talking about what they will do and how they'll do it. As they get to the port of... I actually don't remember the city My Hero Academia takes in. Sorry guys, I will have to learn that. Yeah. As yeah, as they get to the My Hero Academia city port, and like David said, there's a taxi driver that's been paid in advance to take them to their house. As they get there, and they see it's a pretty average house. You know, not too cheap, not too expensive, just average. As they walk in, it's a pretty average looking house even from the inside. As they see a bunch of boxes sitting on the couch, as they first decide to go upstairs. As then they see there's only 2 bedrooms with pre-made beds. Yeah, there's 2. There's 2. Yeah, there's 2. It's a 2-bedroom house with the beds pre-made. As they find a note in one of the rooms saying I had a couple people after I bought the house to buy some stuff and make these beds for you. Enjoy, David Shield. As when they both walk out of the rooms, they've already found Bakugo already in one of the rooms. Just already unpacking everything he has. As Izuki just takes Melissa's suitcase and just takes hers and Melissa's back into the room they came out of. As Melissa asks, what are you doing? As Izuki just says, Katchan already took a room, so... And since there's only 2 bedrooms, looks like me and you are sharing. As Melissa just starts blushing, saying, what? As Izuki smiles and says, "Aw, is my little blonde shield shy of sharing a room with her girlfriend?" As she just says, "What? No, I'm not shy of sharing a room with my girlfriend, you greedy fox." As Izuki responds, "Then why are you red as a tomato?" As she just starts blushing even more and says, "You." As she says, "You greedy fox, give me back my suitcase." As Melissa takes her suitcase and starts unpacking. As they notice, there's 2 wardrobes already in the room they were in. As they finish packing and go downstairs to find what's in the boxes, they find it's a TV and hell, just for the sake of it, Wi-Fi. As Bakugo and Izuki set up TV, Melissa tries to set up the Wi-Fi and gets frustrated with it. As Izuki says, "Come on, Melissa, calm down." As Melissa says, if I can't figure out how to set up a simple Wi-Fi, how will I ever make it in the support course? As Bakugo points out, you're reading the instructions upside down. As Melissa says, what? Then she realizes that she was reading the instructions upside down all along, as she just starts blushing and runs up to her room. As Izuki giggles at this a little bit and says, let her be. She'll calm down eventually. I'll set up the Wi-Fi. As we skip to a few hours later, we see Bakugo raging on... Hell, what will I make him rage on? Yeah, we see Bakugo raging on Call of Duty. As she sees Izuki in the kitchen cooking dinner. As she asks, what are we having for dinner? As Izuki just says, oh, just some basic biscotti bolognese. As Melissa goes, yum, I love biscotti bolognese. As that moment, Bakugo just explodes the controller he was using and turns off the console. As Melissa just laughs at him. As he asks, what the hell are you laughing at, Blondie? As Melissa says, oh, nothing much. Just a raging Pomeranian. As Izuki laughs at this as well. As Bakugo just says, shut up. As Izuki says, anyway, dinner's ready. As she hands them all dinner and they start eating. Now, I'm going to skip to a few hours after they've eaten dinner. Now, Melissa's looking for some place to where Izuki and Bakugo can train with their bodies and their quirk, and at the same time also look for a place where herself can practice and refine her gadget making skills, as she finds the all well known and loved rubbish infested, what's it called? Dagobah Beach. Yeah, the all well known and dirty Dagobah Beach. As she says, ooh, this is interesting. As Zuki says, what's interesting? As she starts reading over Melissa's shoulder. As the article reads, a beach that has been littered for years. Well, me and Kakchan can practice our quirks and our bodies, while you can pull some of this stuff apart and refine your gadget making skills. As Melissa just says, yeah, I guess. Now as Bakugo shows up saying, that place is a perfect place where all three of us can train. Yeah, we'll go tomorrow. We'll go tomorrow and see how it is. As Melissa goes, okay, and just closes her laptop as they all go to bed. Now, the next morning, both of them wake up to a delicious smell, as Melissa notices Izuki's gone from next to her. As yeah, she's an early riser in this one, as Mercer and Bakugo race to their doorways, as they both recognize that very unique smell, as they both yell, "Pancakes!" as they both run down. Now, as Bakugo is almost down the stairs, Melissa just hops on Bakugo's back, causing them both to tumble down the stairs. As Izuki just starts laughing at them, saying, "You guys can be stupid sometimes." As they both rise up and yell, well, if I don't get down the stairs first, this one will eat all the pancakes." As they're both pointing at each other while saying it. As Izuki just says, I have 30 pancakes here. We each get 10 each. As they both rush to the dining table and start eating. They're not too fast to where they can get the hiccups, but pretty fast. Now, as we skip to when they finish breakfast and got dressed, now, because none of them have a license yet, they all decide to walk to Degama Beach well, this is mainly for plot, but as a coincidence, they walk past UA. As Melissa says, guess we already found a good route to UA. As Bakugo and Izuki say, what? And then look to see that they're literally next to UA. As Bakugo says, yeah, I guess we did. Come on, we still have a pretty long way to get to Degama Beach. As they get there by, I'm going to say, midday. And as, well, no one's there. Just walk on the beach and see there's so much junk over there. As Bakugo says, well, let's start training. As they start training, Melissa goes to one side and starts whipping apart this, not whipping, but taking apart these smaller machines to, well, build some gadgets. As Bakugo's exploding him to one side, putting the useless junk in one pile, and he gives the stuff he thinks that may be useful to Melissa. As we get to, like, I'm gonna say 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, as they've cleared a majority of the beach. A small section of the beach in a few hours. Now, as they have a pretty big pile of just junk. As Izuki says, now, how are we going to get this all to the dump? As Mercer then spots a very convenient garbage truck coming by. As she runs up and signals her to stop, as the driver asks, hey, what are you doing? As she tells them that her and her friend and her girlfriend have been training for UA at Degama Beach, and asking if they're willing to take to the dump a pile of junk. As the driver responds, sure, but it depends how big it is. As they come and see how big the pile is, and they say, yeah, we can take all of this. we still have plenty of room in the truck. As while they're doing that, one of the bloody dump truck garbage men noticed that there's a well, a 3-part nunchuck and a very familiar grey gauntlet. As he points at them, saying, "Are they a part of the junk?" As Melissa says, "Oh no 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 no! I used some of the no." As he says, "You see, I'm quirkless, so I'm gonna go join the support course at UA. So I'm using the junk here to refine my gadget making skills." As he says, "Oh, okay." As when the truck drivers drive off with all the junk, as well, Mercer picks up the gauntlet and the 3-part nunchuck and goes to Izuki and gives her the nunchuck, saying, "This is for you." As Izuki asks, saying, "Really?" Yeah, it doesn't help much with your quirk, but it could give you that extra bit of punch. You know, when you can't rely, if you can't do it with your own fists. As she googles it, saying, as Bakugo tries to take the gauntlet, as Melissa smacks her hand, saying, No, this is just a prototype, mister. I'm gonna see if I can use this, make tweaks to it, and then make actual gauntlets for you, you big meanie." As she pokes her tongue at Bakugo, Bakugo just says, You're annoying. You're annoying sometimes, Melissa." As they do this for the whole 10 months. Okay, this is annoying me. Okay, this is annoying me. And because now this has no convenience to the story whatsoever, but it's just annoying me that I'm not gonna pronounce it. Okay, just because it's annoying me, Mirio gets 1 for all in this. I only said it because it was bugging me for some reason. Maybe because I have OCD or some shit, I don't know. Yeah, as they complete for 10 months. As Bakugo in this has already gotten his Hauser impact. The basis for how to do it without the gauntlets. So, Melissa tricked the gauntlets to still collect his sweat, but instead of his house, but the gauntlets, once he pulls the pin, all the sweat just instantly ignites. Meaning he can use the gauntlets to strength his Hauser impact or to stun his opponents, while another hero comes and takes him out. As Bakugo likes the idea of strengthening his Hauser impact.
Have you seen this edible bloody man? It smells like someone's fucking second.
And I'm back. I'm sorry for that interruption. That was my dumbass brother. Now, where did I leave off? Oh yes. I left off when explaining what Bakugo can do. Now, a little side note. Bakugo's still, egotistical, but he's actually a pretty smart tactician. Yeah, in this, he's a very smart tactician. Way smarter than he is in the original. Now, if you say Bakugo is not a tactician in in canon, well, you're wrong because, well, you're sort of right because, well, he doesn't make tactics to beat every single one he meets, but he can come up with plans on the fly, which is very impressive if I do say so myself. As we come to UA, when Melissa is nervous as hell, as Izuki reassures her, and they all go to the hall or bloody room, whatever they might, prison might does the shit, and explains the exam as he said, Blade, what does he? Blah, 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 blah. As he says, all support course attendees, please look to your right as Miss Joke will be giving you your exam today. As Izuki tells Melissa, good luck, as she says, thanks Izuki, and walks to Miss Joke with the rest of the support course students. As everything in canon goes like normal, as for the written exam in the hero course, as now we skip to when he's explaining the pointers, the 0, 2, and 3s. Now, as he's about to explain the 0 pointer, Ida does his whole thing in canon, yeah. But this time Bakugo says, "Shut up, he was about to explain the 0 pointer." As Ida says, as Ida does his whole, thing. If you haven't seen Bakugo, you don't know, but he tells Bakugo he can't say that to people. As President Mike says, "He's right, I was about to explain the 0 pointer before you rudely interrupted." As Ida just sits down like a fool because he embarrassed himself. Now, as they all start walking out to their practical exam areas, as Izuki noticed during the whole explanation of the pointers, Izuki noticed a certain brown-haired girl staring at Bakugo. As she noticed Izuki noticed her, she quickly looked away. As Izuki thinks, Bakugo has a secret admirer already? Okay. As well, when Izuki's on the bus, to her exam site, she notices the brown-haired girl is in her area. As she decides to sit down next to her, as they start chatting, as Izuki randomly brings up, I noticed you staring at my friend. as she starts blushing, saying, oh. as Izuku says, don't be embarrassed. He's just my friend, and plus I'm already taken if that's what you're worried about. As hearing this, the brown-haired girl, as we all know as Uchoku Uwaka, brightened up a bit, saying, really? As she says, yeah, and starts ranting on how Bakugo is and all that. As she notices, Uwaka is getting far more intrigued by Bakugo just by her telling her about him. Just by telling her about him. As well, they get to the site, and Bakugo and... No, not Bakugo, as Uraka and Izuki split, so they could both focus on getting psyched up for the entrance exam. Now, Izuki notices Uraka's a little nervous, but decides not to try to tell her that she can do it because, well, Izuki, just by talking to Uraka for a little bit, can tell she has a strong kind personality. As the gates open and everyone starts rushing in. Now, by this time, Izuki's just racking up points. Now, as we skip to... we'll go to Melissa's exam. As Miss Joke has finished, I believe the support course does a written exam as well, but I'm not 100% sure. And now... As Miss Joke has a concealed photo of up on a screen, and a few other heroes is giving everyone just junk. Junk as Melissa's confused on why everyone's getting just random junk, which is then Miss Joke says, as you all know, the hero course does two exams, the written exam and the entrance exam. If you do good on both, you get in. Now we as the support course have already done our written exam. Now this is our version of the practical exam. Now when I unconceal this photo, there is a photo of a hero underneath, and using this junk, you have to make support gear for them. Ready, go, as she reveals the picture being All Might. As everyone's going haywire that they get to make theorized support gear for All Might. As one of the heroes chimes in saying, if Miss Joke thinks your support gear is good enough, she will present it to All Might and see if he thinks it will help him in combat. As everyone's jaw just drops, saying that if they do this exam well, this support gear could possibly help All Might in actual combat. as they all just start frantically trying to think what All Might's quirk is. As we go to Melissa's mind. By this point, everyone has started building because they think they want All Might. As Melissa's thinking, well, All Might hasn't specified what his quirk is, but it looks to be a very high strength quirk. In his prime, he could use it no problem, but because he is in his old age, it's way easier for him to hurt himself with his own quirk if he puts too much power into those punches he deals. As then she gets a bright idea, as then she starts working on it. As then by the time it's finished, Miss Joker is examining everyone's support gear for All Might when she gets to Melissa, as she's surprised to see the support gear. Melissa as she like she did in all the other students, she asks Melissa what she made, as Melissa says, oh, this is shock absorbers. As Miss Jokes asks, why did you make shock absorbers for All Might? As she goes through her explanation of why she made shock absorbers for All Might, everyone, including the heroes, are impressed of that explanation to why she made shock absorbers. As Miss Joke says, this actually, as she made 2 of them out of all the junk. Well, not all of it, some of it. As she says, that's perfect. This would be perfect for All Might. I'm actually hoping he takes these, because these would actually help him in combat to take some of the damage he deals out. As Melissa says, yes, but these are just a prototype. Because we don't know how hard he can actually punch, I'm gonna have to make him out of a stronger material. These would survive a few blows from All Might. As Melissa says, okay, but I'll still present them to him if he to see if he will use them. As she says, well, I wouldn't expect anything less from a Shield. As everyone, George is sort of saying, what? Shield? She's the daughter of David Shield, the founder of Ion, and the greatest company to make support gear for heroes. As Melissa just passed her test in flying colors. Now, we jump back to the practicals, the heroes' practicals, and as the 0 Point has been terrorizing everyone in the exam for like a minute now, as Izuki notices Uraka underneath the 0 Pointers. 0 Pointer, not 0 Pointers, 0 Pointer. As she wants her dodging the 0 Pointer. Now, she can't lift the rubble by herself, so she uses Hunter's Fest to steal energy from everyone nearby, which tired a lot of people out, but not enough to actually stop them so they'd be hit by the 0 Pointer. Now, as her just muscle mass grows and she's able to lift the rubble off Uraka easily, now she quickly decimates the excess energy she used to increase her strength and quickly runs from the 0 Pointer, runs away with Uraka in her hands. Notice when Nezu shut down the 0 Pointer when everyone got to the gates. And as President Mike said, that includes the practical exam. Please, if you've been injured, report to Recovery Girl. She will be at the gate waiting for you. as the gate opens, and then there's Recovery Girl right there. As she attends to everyone who is injured. As when Izuki arrives with Uraka, Recovery Girl fixes Uraka and she's white as rain. Now, we'll skip to when they're all at home and they got their letters saying that they all got in. As there's a special message on Melissa's, as it reads, as All Might says in the hologram, Melissa Shield, I have greatly loved the idea of shock absorbers for my suit, and you are right. I tested them out before I recorded all the acceptance letters. Now they only survived a few of my medium punches. As Melissa's Supply saying, survived a few medium punches of All Might. Now, since they will greatly help me in combat, I request as soon as you get to UA and I can't English today, and Miss Joke will be your teacher, so she's agreed to give you day one off to work with me to create new Shokozoms out of stronger materials so they can survive my strongest punch. As Melissa's just crying at this point, saying that All Might love the idea of shock absorbers. And she's just crying because she does not believe All Might actually loves the idea. As Izuki and both Bakugo say, see, we knew you'd get in, but we never anticipated you'd make support gear for All Might, and he'd actually personally ask you to help him make stronger versions so they can survive his maximum punches. As Melissa says, Miss Joke said that was our practical exam. Now, that's where I'm going to stop it here. Now, part 4 is going to be the start of UA. So, yeah, remember to comment, like, and or subscribe. Help the Shadow Clan grow. And peace.